Did you know that there's a brewery craze going on in America? What used to be a hobby in some folks' garages has blown up into a nationwide phenomenon. This is not a story about beer. Well, not totally. This is a love story about one of the most uncommon couples ever to find each other here in the South. It's about a cute little co-ed, a hyper high school jock, a big RV, and oh yeah, a lot of beer.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Karis, and you're invited to go on tour with us.
Hitting the road doing what we love to do, RV'ing.
And discovering unique breweries along the way.
There are over 7,000 craft breweries in America and counting.
So far, we have visited over 100 of them.
And with you, we have plenty more to explore.
So Ryan and I first met back in the 5th grade here in Tampa.
She moved in from Michigan, I moved in from Lutz.
Went to school together, middle school and high school. He was much more the jock.
Karis in high school was that good girl, that student council dressed nice.
Not the most studious guy out there, but he was fun and nice, and I was a little bit more on the reserved side.
She had a short Molly Ringwald hair, and my mind said, ask her out, ask her out. And for some reason I didn't. And throughout the years when we went our separate ways, I would always remember that time in the hallway.
Flash forward 30 years later, here we are, you know, a couple kids later, a couple marriages later.
Started this online dating, I was swiping right, left, up, down.
We actually reconnect on a dating site.
My computer, my phone went bam. And I look, and it was a picture of Karis.
Ryan popped up as a match, and just for giggles, I sent him a message and said, hey, remember me?
Holy cow, heck yes, I do.
You know, because it's kind of funny to run into somebody you know on a dating site.
Let's have a beer.
We hook up for a beer the next night, and it's been beer drinking and hanging out, and now marriage ever since.
First stop, Ybor City, Rock Brothers Brewing.
One of our favorite places we go to is Rock Brothers Brewery in Ybor City. This place is amazing. It incorporates rock bands and their beer together. I've never seen a place like this before.
Very cool. I'm a huge diehard Tom Petty fan, and I love the concept that they have here of it being a rock venue where they have concerts and live music all the time, on top of fantastic beer.
My name's Scooby Olivier. I'm the Director of Spirits and Education here at Rock Brothers Brewing. Basically, to keep with the theme of Rock Brothers, what we do here is we create beers with bands. They're 100% collaborations. A great example would be our Hootie's Homegrown Blonde Ale, which is created with Hootie and the Blowfish. Darius Rucker came to us and said, you know, I'm getting into craft beer and I'm looking for something new, and this is kind of what I like. So can you guys do this, but maybe add something to it? So we took what he was looking for and interpreted it into a beer and gave him exactly what he wanted.
So one of the coolest things about Rock Brothers Brewery is the venue that they have upstairs for concerts.
This is the monk in the attic. This is the guy that watches over everything here.
It's a small, intimate space that has bistro tables that holds maybe 150 to 200 people. It's a great opportunity to see upcoming artists as well as your favorite bands that come to Tampa.
So this is the green room. This is where the artists all hang out before and after the show. And then obviously they leave their marks here. So the room was white walled so that we could have them leave their marks in here. We've got Stephen Kellogg of Toad the Wet Sprocket right here. A lot of the artists will actually come down and hang out downstairs because it is a smaller, intimate venue. Yeah. So they're not being bombarded by 1,000 people, you know, maybe 200 people.
This place went from a firehouse to a hardware store to a brewery that is a concert venue.
That's what makes our show so unique, is we have the opportunity to visit these fantastic breweries throughout the country that each have their own unique qualities.
And everywhere we go, there's a Scooby.
we're headed to St. Petersburg, Florida. Three Daughters Brewing.
My name is Bob Karsket. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager here at Three Daughters Brewing. The history behind the name Three Daughters is actually kind of funny. Our owners, our founders, were sitting there one time when we were discussing whether or not opening a brewery was really a viable option. And the wife looks to the husband and says, well, how many beers do you think we'd have to sell to get our three daughters through college? So here we are, Three Daughters Brewing. Karis, let's get you a bunch of different stuff to try. We've got some dark stuff. We've got this nice double IPA, super hoppy. You're gonna love that. And this one, just in time for the holiday season, a nice cranberry sour.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it and have him try it
Cheers.
too.
Let me kind of
So
get my
which one do you
ready.
suggest I start with?
I would probably go with this, let's go with that whiskey porter first.
That whiskey
Just go ahead and get the big stuff out of the way. It's
Yeah.
a dark porter aged in bourbon barrels. You're gonna love it. He might hate it, but I think you'll enjoy it.
What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. You definitely can taste the whiskey in there.
Should I try it?
Yeah, give it a try. I think I like
I'm
it.
scared. You know me.
If you like whiskey, you'll enjoy those.
It's good.
Intense, right?
Yeah, that should come. That comes in that barrel, right?
Yes, it does. Let's move
Okay, you can have the rest of that.
It's fun having them in here because Karis has a very refined, exquisite palate. She appreciates everything across the board. And then, Ryan will drink stuff too sometimes.
Ryan still has a 12-year-old palate. He likes his chicken fingers. He likes his light beer. Whereas I like to experiment with new things and say I have a little bit more of a mature palate.
People make fun of my palate. I was born with this palate. Karis's palate, on the other hand, muddy.
I'm really hoping that through this show, his palate matures a little bit beyond 12 years old.
My name is Desiree Chubb, and I'm the Director of Quality and Product Development. There's just a lot of stuff going on in here, though. There's a lot of chemistry involved, analytics that are involved as well. We do everything from testing our yeast viability, dissolved oxygen, alcohol by volume, the density. We track fermentation throughout the entire process, so there's a lot of stuff to do. And we teach students in here as well, so that's a really nice thing.
Through USF.
Yes, so we actually do USF Brewing Arts, we do USF Biological Sciences, and we do State College of Florida Biotechnology Division.
So they actually come in as a
They
student?
come in as students.
That's
they
so
actually
cool.
have to for their degree.
So if somebody says, I want to make a crazy flavor profile,
Sure.
that's you?
That's what we do. Yeah, we start here. Everything kind of starts in the lab.
The mad scientist.
The mad scientist starts with everything, and then our head brewer Ty writes the recipe, and then we kind of test everything going throughout the entire process. Before we add yeast, after we brew, everything's from that point on.
That better not be beer right there.
What is that?
So that is, this connects to our CO2. It purges all the oxygen out of the can so that it's a nice, sterile environment. So every hour we take lab samples so that if there's a problem down the road, our lab technician can come back, check what we took out of the run, and test the beer in here, maybe test the seam, see if there's a problem.
Going in.
Don't mess it up, man.
How big of a space?
Well, you can see how fast the label goes.
Okay, so go as fast as the labels?
Yeah, you just don't want to put them together.
Last stop, In the Loop Brewing.
So different ways that you can add flavors to beers is the variety of hops that you use. This beer in particular that we're doing today is a Citrageddon hop, so highly hopped Citra beer. This is the Citra hop right here. And if we had smell-o-vision, you'd be able to get aromas of melons and berries, and that's what we're going to add into this beer.
You're finding a big movement in Florida where they're growing a certain variety of hop that can actually survive and thrive in Florida. We actually hand pick our hops and we get like 4 pickings out of it. Pretty successful for doing one beer, but we don't have enough whole cone hops to do all kinds, varieties of beer.
Right.
So we just do it for our 20-mile level pale.
I love that you have like a proprietary hop that no one else has. So In the Loop Brewery is our favorite local place to go. I've known Joe Trina, the owner, since I was in the 6th grade. Again, another high school friend all the way through high school and college. We hang out here so much, Ryan and I, that we decided 2 years after we met to get married and have our rehearsal dinner here, where everybody else can experience the joy and laughter that we have over the last few years.
Well, when we were home brewing, when you're not a professional brewer, your equipment's not always professional grade.
Okay.
I had a hose break. We had like 200+ degree water, and I tried to move the hose out of the way so it didn't hit some equipment that I didn't want it to hit, and instead it hit me on the top of the foot, and I was brewing in brewery regulation flip-flops, and I burnt the top of my left foot.
Ah, scalded foot is born.
So half a second before that, it could have been scalded crotch.
I love that Ryan is a dreamer. He has great ideas and he's always thinking outside of the box. He keeps me on my toes all the time.
She speaks my love language. She and I can look at each other and say 2 words, and all we gotta do is say so much. And she says so much, babe.
He's fun to be around and exciting and adventurous and looks at the positive in every single thing.
I knew for the first moment that she was going to be the one for me.
He motivates me to be a better person. He motivates our kids to be great people. And without him, my life would be very, very boring.
And I made this promise to her. I made this promise that she would always laugh. I would cross that line on the jokes a lot, but I promised her I would always make her laugh. And I think I've done that for a while now.